You can have some, but just drink that first, and I got you. Inshallah. The colors, right? Deep. The Red Bull.
No doubt.
Deep. La ilaha illallah. Allah expose you. It's golden. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. We had a student, a disciple, who said that Fiji water is the best. Tabarakallah. So alhamdulillah, now we have the stamp of approval. And hopefully, inshallah, Fiji will be the official water of what? Hadith disciple, huh? Inshallah ta'ala. Fiji water, huh? It says the soft taste of solid rock. The distinctive taste of Fiji water is years in the making. That's how long it takes the tropical rainfall to filter through the ancient volcanic rock and naturally acquire the silica that gives Fiji its signature soft, smooth taste. Sourced from a sustainable underground aquifer, it is untouched by man until you unscrew the cap.
Give them free advertising.
Huh?
We have 2,000 subscribers.
It's like Hadith disciple though. The soft taste of solid rock. Smooth but rugged. Hard but soft, huh? It says what? The distinctive taste of Hadith disciple is years in the making. Didn't happen overnight. That's how long it takes. Allah's barakah, Allah's tawfiq, hard work, studying, to filter through the ancient volcanic rock. Difficulties, trials, obstacles, hardships. He said earlier, the interview. Sacrifices overseas, this brother, that brother, this masjid, fulan, fulana. It then says, that gives Fiji its signature soft, smooth taste. No doubt, well, alhamdulillah, we can say Hadith disciple has what? Signature sound. There's a million channels on YouTube, lectures, people better than us, bigger than us. But when you hear our channel, it's what? It's distinct. It's different. It's unique. You know that you're listening to what? HD. You know you're drinking what? Fiji. It then says, sourced from a sustainable underground aquifer. Allahu Akbar. Substantial amount of something that you can't see. That's underground, that's hidden, but it's there. It's untouched by man until you unscrew the cap. You don't know what it is. What's the class about? The lectures, the titles are hard for me to find. One brother said it's confusing for me to find the topic of the class. You have to what? Press play. Unscrew the cap, and then you listen what the lecture is about. I didn't make this up. I didn't know this was on the back of Fiji. I just read it. Tayyib. Wallahu alam. Says here, or what we want to read tonight, bi'idhnillah, is a selection for myself and for you, my brothers and sisters in Islam, from the book of Al-Hafidh al-Dhahabi called Al-Muqidha. Al-Muqidha is a famous manual on Mustalah al-Hadith, on Hadith terminology, Hadith science. And in this book, he has a chapter, which is the 23rd chapter, in which he says, Adab al-Muhaddith. He says, the etiquettes of the Muhaddith. The etiquettes of a Hadith bearer, a person of Hadith. Regardless whether this person is Muhaddith, ya'ni aliman, he's an alim, reached the top, even though there are levels from among the ulama as well, but someone who's quote unquote alim, sheikh. As the brother said on the channel, what did he say? He said this brother's not a sheikh. He's not an alim. Don't say that. Another brother said he is. Why not? What's important here is whether you're what? On the top, or whether you're adab al-muhaddith, ya'ni talib hadith, a student of hadith. Whether you're a beginner, whether you're in the middle, whether you're on the peak, the summit, the top. He says these are all adab, things that are specific to the master, things that are specific to the learner, and things that are shared between the teacher and the pupil. Everybody got this, John? Etiquettes of 3 types. Etiquettes that are specific for the one who is teaching, the one who is on top, the one who has reached a level, an expert. Etiquettes for the one who is a beginner, one who is studying, one who's learning. And also, there are etiquettes in which both of them must
Adhere to.
they both have to adhere to, both of them. And it's not for me or for you, you can't do this, I can't do this. No. There's some things that we both have to do. And we both have to pay attention. And this is a topic, alhamdulillah, that we spoke on, walillah alhamd, several times. We spoke on this topic many times. On the etiquettes of a student of hadith. We have books on this topic, all types of lectures, but it's something that never will get old. It's timeless. It's always needed. How many brothers here in this one masjid, let alone online, let alone in Canada, let alone overseas, this country, that country, how many young faces have we seen? Looking at some of them right now. Young, bright faces. Thobes, pins, glasses, kufis, trim thobes, alhamdulillah, nice socks. How many young brothers have we seen coming in this masjid, writing notes, taking down fawaid, learning and benefiting? Only Allah knows how many young brothers we've seen right here in this masjid, let alone in what? Countless other masajid and other locations that say, I want to go overseas. I want to study. I want to go to Medina. I want to go to Yemen. I want to go to Egypt. Help me, Sheikh. What's your advice? What's your nasiha? Write me a letter of recommendation. Write me a tazkiyah. Give me some help on applying. Can you speak to someone in the university? What were your experiences like in Medina? How does a person become serious? How many times did this question come online? I want to study, but I suffer from depression. I want to study, but my husband doesn't. I want to. So this is a pressing topic. How are you to succeed? How are you to behave? And what are you to stick to and adhere to? In other words, on simple basic terms, these adab, not only are some of them mandatory, not only are some of them recommended, but these adab will help you succeed. They will help you run and fly sooner and further. They will give you a jump start to your talab. Everybody got this? Not only are these etiquettes, some of them are mandatory, which you don't have an option. Some of them are recommended, which is a good thing to have. But the benefit, the tangible everyday benefit from these adab is that they will actually allow you to move and jump off the ground quicker. Everybody needs to give you a jolt, a boost. And not only does it give you that jolt and a boost, but it will allow you to go further than the next man. It will allow you to be greater than the next man. Because you have a code. You have a behavior. You have a set of rules that you adhere to and that you follow. Everybody understand this? So when you go overseas, so when you come back in America, I can't go overseas. I went to Yemen, I went to Medina, I went to this college, I went. I know what to do when I'm sitting with a sheikh, when I'm teaching a class, when I'm reading a book. I know what to do when I'm on the minbar. I know what to do when someone gets refuted. I know what to do when it comes to blind following someone. I know what to do about debating and arguing. I know what to do and I know what not to do. So these rules, these etiquettes, these manners have been made for your success and for your protection. Your success and your protection. The more you know them, the more you read them, the more you study them, the more you adhere to them, by the permission of Allah, the more successful of a student of knowledge you will be. The less you know them, the less you read them, the less you study them, the less that you adhere to them and you continually ignore them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best, the least or the less successful you will be as a seeker of knowledge. Anyone who's studying, let alone someone who wishes to wear the headband of hadith. It's an honor for you to get that band on your head. It's not something that's given to you. It has to be something that you have to earn. It's never given. It's something that you earn. Brothers, they say, oh, the brother, he got a degree overseas, so, that's it. He got a degree. He got a master's degree. Big deal. Nothing changes. Life goes on. It doesn't mean anything. He got this and he got that. First and foremost is, ya akhi, no one gets a degree. A person earns a degree. Especially in Islamic University of Medina, especially in a college of hadith. Those teachers don't give you anything. They force you and they make you earn every single ounce of that degree or that piece of paper through coming into class, answering questions, memorizing, studying, passing an exam. Do you know what it means to pass an exam? In order to answer 10 questions correctly, that means that I've studied the entire curriculum. I may memorize 300 hadiths for one subject to get 10 answers right. So if I was quote unquote lucky, fortunate and blessed by Allah to get the right answer, everybody understand this? Or someone who actually studied proficiently and worked hard and spent the sleepless nights, the caffeine, staying up, studying, reading, memorizing. That person, when he got a perfect score in an exam, or 95 or 98 or 97, did he get the score or did he earn the score? Which of the two? Without a doubt, through hard work. So that's only one topic, Yusuf. That's only one of 8 subjects, 9 subjects. And then you have 2 semesters every year. So let's just count how many hadiths, how many pages, how many things did you read within a 4-year span? An abundance. And then on top of that, another 5 years. And on top of that, another 5 years. And that's not including your own personal studies outside of the Islamic University of Medina. Everybody understand this? With the scholars, with this sheikh, with that sheikh. That's not including your own personal study time when it's just you and your books. That's not including the audio lessons that you listen to. That's not including your own memorization, and the list goes on of gems and jewels that you find through your own personal research. So being a student of hadith is not something that is given to you. It is something that you have to take. It's something that you have to earn. And if you learn these etiquettes and you stick to them, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, the road will be smoother. The road will be shorter. The destination will be reached quicker. And the opposite is also the opposite. Al-Dhahabi rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, so we've explained the unwan, what's meant by adab al-muhaddith. A talib and alim. Everybody understand this? He says, تصحيح النية من طالب العلم متعينة. He says here, تصحيح النية من طالب العلم متعينة. فمن طلب الحديث للمكاثرة أو المفاخرة أو ليروي أو ليتناول الوظائف أو ليثنى عليه وعلى معرفته فقد خسر. وإن طلبه لله وللعمل به وللقربة بكثرة الصلاة على نبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم ولينفع الناس فقد فاز. وإن كانت النية ممزوجة بالأمرين فالحكم للغالب. He says here, first and foremost, تصحيح النية. The first point is fixing your intention. Fixing the reason why you want to go overseas, why you want to study. Why should I accept you as my student? Why should I contact you and call you and message you and email you? Why should I give you my precious time? And why do you want my precious time? Everybody understand this? Why should I make a sacrifice to come and sit with you and study with you? And why are you making a sacrifice with your precious time to study with me and to benefit from me? He says the first step is the niyyah has to be right. What am I studying for? Who am I studying for? What am I teaching for? Everybody understand this? Who am I teaching for? Why do I come here every night and give this halaqah and answer these questions and pick up the microphone? For what purpose? He says that's the first, the first job, the first responsibility. It's something that's mandatory for those who are learning hadith and those who are learning other than hadith. He says, as making examples, he says, فَمَنْ طَلَبَ الْحَدِيثِ لِلْمُكَاثَرَةِ أَوْ الْمُفَاخَرَةِ. He says, those who seek hadith لِلْمُكَاثَرَةِ, just to get an abundance of information. I have a library. I have books. I know this fact, this piece of information. Yeah, I know Sheikh Fulan. Yeah, I know Brother Fulan. Yeah, I know Mufti Muhammad Munir. I know this one. I know that one. I've sat with him. Yeah, he knows me. Just to have an abundance and more. He says, أو المفاخرة, or to boast and to brag. I graduated. I studied overseas. I'm an imam. I'm a sheikh. I'm a scholar. I'm this. I'm that. I know Fulan. I'm down with this. I've studied with such and such. I'm such and such pupil. I'm such and such students. There's some brothers, they do this. The very first time that you meet them, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, I'm Yusuf's student. Nice to meet you, Yusuf's student. He introduced himself like that's his name. Such and such, I'm from such and such. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Queens. I'm from this masjid. I'm from that masjid. What's your name, Akhi? How you doing? Fadda, drink some tea. Everybody understand this? Many people, they study and they learn just what? To brag. That's abundance. We're finished with that. You gotta wake up, get some tea. Your engine is moving a bit slow. We're finished with abundance. Mukathara. Al-mufakhara. Just to boast, just to brag, just to be known, just to become famous. He then says, or, these are all just examples, huh? These are just examples, amthal or amthila. He says, awliya, or just to narrate hadith. I'm a reporter and report things. The sheikh said in a class, I sat with the ulama, I've studied with the ulama say, liyarwiya. Just to report, just to mention things. Awliya tanawal al-wadha'if, or to get jobs, to gain position, take posts. I went overseas to study so I could be the imam of the masjid. I went overseas to study so I could be the teacher at this school, the principal of this school, the head of this markaz, as many brothers, they say all of the time. My parents want me to study, my parents want me to study medicine, they want me to study biology, psychology, so on and so forth, but I want to seek knowledge. But my parents won't let me seek knowledge unless I tell them that I can get a job. So I tell them I'm going to seek knowledge in order for me to be a teacher, in order for me to be the imam. That's wrong. You seek ilm for the proper reasons. And from the benefits of knowledge, the fruits of your labor and of your hard work, there lies no doubt there's going to be an abundance of opportunity for you. Everybody understand this? Because people are in dire need of a qualified Islamic scholar. There's no doubt about that. You can say what you want. You can live in a little fake bubble. But when you travel by plane, by air, you drive, you go to different countries, different cities, you'll find people that are in dire need of a basic, simple graduate. Let alone somebody with a PhD, with a master's, someone who studied overseas 10, 15 years, someone with a basic, simple certificate of an Islamic establishment. Medina, Azhar, South Africa, this country, that country. People need imams. Everybody understand this? And people also, they want imams that are free. They want imams not free meaning money, I'm talking about free, schedule. We want you to be available all 5 salah in the masjid. We want you to be available to answer the phone calls whenever someone has a phone call. 2 in the morning, 3 a.m., 6 p.m., 9 a.m. We need to sit down and discuss this with this brother and this sister, this one, that one, marriage, divorce, custody, the Sunday school, the Saturday school, the kids, the classes. Every single khutbah has to be prepared. You have to give a spell-binding speech. Brother called me earlier today. After Maghrib, he said, Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. He said, last week's khutbah was good. He says, but this week I need a dynamic khutbah. This is a brother, nothing to do with the administration of the masjid. This is a friend. He says, I need a dynamic khutbah, akhi. In other words, no matter if you're tired, if you're stressed out, if you got a migraine, you got problems with your family, with your children, with this and with that, I need you to be what? Heavy, huh? Way heavy, as he said, huh? I need the khutbah to be on point. How does the khutbah come on point? If I'm not rested properly, if I don't make the necessary revision, the necessary preparation, huh? If I don't have the high spirit. Everybody understand this? How can I do that if I'm working here 8 hours, 6 hours, going this, 20, can't do that. Everybody got this? So the point I'm trying to get to is these communities, they want an imam that is what? Free. And for you to be free and to be available and to be prepared and to give a dynamic speech, what does that necessitate, Jahan? How does the imam become free? Except through what? Knowledge is there already. He graduated. He's back home. How do they get an imam that's always available, always prepared? You have to make revision of the Quran. He memorized the Quran, 30 juz, 114 surahs. Started with Surah Al-Baqarah being the longest. Everybody understand this? He has to make a lot of review. When does he find time to review the Quran, review hadith, to study, to practice? When does he find time, John, if he's doing 50 different things? In other words, the community is saying that we're going to do what? Yusuf, without a doubt, whatever you want and need. House, apartment, car, wife. This is your stipend. This is the compensation. This is not what you're worth. You're not worth this. We can never pay you enough money. We can never give you enough what you're truly worth, the value that you bring to the community. However, this is a mere compensation for your time, a mere compensation for your expertise, a mere token of our appreciation and value of you. In other words, if you seek knowledge for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're not after position, but the position is going to do what? Without a doubt. It's going to chase you. You've studied well, you've worked hard, the people are going to what? They're going to come to you. They're going to beg you, they're going to force you to come here, teach at our school, lead this website, do this. And no one works for free. Everybody say no one what? No one works for free. You can act fake if you want, but what, Yusuf? No one works for free. Because I have a little baby, I have to buy diapers. If I go to the store, can I go to the store and say, I'm a student of hadith, give me free diapers for my baby? Yes or no? Of course not. Step out of the line, please, sir. Next. This is a reality. I need paper towels, toilet tissue, orange juice, eggs, bacon. I go to the grocery store. What do they want to tell me there? Oh, here comes scholar Fulan, hadith scholar. He goes shopping for free. No. Rent, no. Gas, no. Toll money when we're driving, what? No. Everybody understand this is a reality of life. So the purpose is if you're studying just to get an imam position, just to be in charge of the people, to run a website, to run a center, to be a principal of a school, to be a teacher for money, then you're what? You've lost the game. You've lost already, and that's an improper intention. You study for the reasons that the author is going to mention, not to get positions. Instead, the positions will what? They will come after you. Everybody understand this? I have to take this position. I have no choice but to be the principal of this school. And if I don't, an ignorant person will come and run the school and mislead the people and destroy the youth. Everybody understand this? I didn't want this position, but this, at the same time, it's a what? A responsibility that's on my shoulders. And if I don't step up, and if I don't take this, then not only am I going to suffer in the dunya, because I said Pampers aren't free. Baby wipes are not what? They're not free. Your wife's overgarments, her shoes, her jewelry is not going to come what? It's not going to come free. You can live in the dream world if you like, but that's not reality. Everybody understand this? Let alone the obligation of you stepping up, because now you have knowledge, you have ilm. You've studied for years in Egypt. Now you are the most qualified, capable person in this community, and you have to lead the community. Everybody understand this? Whether you like it or whether you don't like it at all. He then says, أَوْ لِيُثْنَى عَلَيْهِ وَعَلَى مَعْرِفَتِهِ, or for the people to praise him and to laud him. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, MashaAllah, fulan, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Oh wow. You hear him talk, his knowledge, it's amazing, it's impressive. He knows so much, he speaks so well, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that, he's this, and he's that. If that's why you're speaking, if that's why you're seeking ilm, and upon the knowledge that you have, Fulan is the strongest student of knowledge in America. Fulan is the greatest student of knowledge in the West. Fulan has the most ilm, the best graduate, the most prolific student of knowledge. And that's a discussion in itself, huh, Jamil? Saying who is and who isn't. But for people to like this and to lend their ears, people talking about me, oh, that's nice. Say that again, that sounds good. He has so much knowledge, he's such an expert. If this is your intention behind studying, hadithdisciple says, فَقَدْ خَسِرَ. He's a loser. You've lost. If your intention is for these worldly, material things. He then says, وَإِن طَلَبَهُ لِلَّهِ, as far as if he seeks this knowledge for Allah, in other words, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for him to be protected from the wrath of Allah, the anger of Allah, him being afraid of Allah asking him on the day of judgment and punishing him. وَلِلْعَمَلِ بِهِ, and to act upon it. I only learn, I only study to implement it, not just to gather and to stack up information, but to implement the information, to practice that information. وَلِلْقُرْبَةِ بِكَثْرَةِ الصَّلَاةِ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ, and also seeking closeness to Allah by making an abundance of prayers and salutations upon the Prophet ﷺ. In other words, the people of Hadith, they say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam more than anyone else, more than any other group. Because the fuqaha, they can have an entire class in which the whole class قال فلان وفي وجه وفي رواية واستحبه فلان واستحسنه فلان ولأصحابنا كذا وفي رواية كذا وقال إمامنا كذا وهو المفتى به الأصح. That's the whole talk. This one, that one, فلان, this and that. Al-Hadith قال أخبرنا هذا صلى الله عليه وسلم قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فعل رسول الله. One page of Hadith, how many times Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam going to be mentioned? 2 pages, 3 pages, 10 pages, a whole entire Sahih Bukhari. So a person who seeks Hadith with this intention, I want to have that status. As it states in the Hadith, إِنَّ أَوْلَى النَّاسِ بِيَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ أَكْثَرُهُمْ عَلَيَّ الصَّلَاةِ. Those who will be the closest to me on the day of judgment are the ones who sent the most prayers upon me. So this is a reason behind a person seeking Hadith. It's for the barakah, the hasanat, seeking closeness to the Prophet ﷺ. He then says, وَلِنَفْعِ النَّاسِ, and also seeking Hadith, listen carefully, he says to benefit the people, to help the people. Everybody understand this? The other day they asked the question. He says, I want to teach classes, but does that mean that my intention is for other than Allah? Does that mean my intention is for other than Allah? If I give classes, if I teach people? No. I'm teaching people for who? Allah. If I don't teach people, I'll be punished by Allah. If people need something from me and I have it and I don't give it to them without a proper reason, I'm going to be asked by So you giving the classes, you teaching, you spreading the sunnah is closeness to who? Subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, if this is your intention behind seeking hadith and learning hadith, faqad faz, then he is a winner. You've succeeded. In other words, that's the proper what? Intention. That's the proper intention. وَإِنْ كَانَتِ النِّيَّةُ مَمْزُوجَةً بِالْأَمْرَيْنِ فَالْحُكْمُ لِلْغَالِبِ. As far as if one's niyyah is mixed, it's a mixture. I like studying for Allah. I want to study for Allah, but at the same time, it does feel good when people say that they're proud of me. At the same time, the rush that I get when I give a khutbah and I see somebody crying, and a brother walks up to me and he pushes the people to the crowd and give me a big bear hug, and he starts crying and dripping on my shoulder, says, "You changed my life, Mufti. I never knew that, Mufti. I never heard of the hadith. SubhanAllah, as if you were talking about me in the khutbah. I just went through this problem with my wife, with my husband, so on and so forth in the khutbah." Sister, obviously, not coming up, give me a hug. Even though that has happened. There's a couple times we had to stiff arm a couple sisters. Okay? Allah knows that we're not making this up. Nafis? Allah knows that we're what? We're not making this up. Liberty Avenue, unfortunately. It's been times we've been attacked by people after the lecture, not brothers. I don't care who you are. You're my son. One sister, she said. Unfortunately. I ran away from the lady. She said, "You're my son. Come here." La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. One time in Masjid Taqwa, out on the sidewalk, Bedford and Fulton. It's a sister out there, sisters from overseas. She went through many, many problems. Some people gave her some bad information. We helped her out. We gave her some basic nasiha. It cleared up the whole situation. She started crying, pouring down crying. And she said, "I want to hug you so bad. Wallahi, I want to hug you." I said, "Sorry, I can't help you on that one." Everybody understand this? So the point is that a brother who says that isn't a motive, that isn't drive, that doesn't feel good, that isn't nice, he's not what? He's not being honest. He's not being what? He's not being honest. Allah is using you to change people's lives. You understand this? You have an effect upon someone. This person starts wearing hijab because of a lecture that you gave. This brother stops drinking because of a lecture that you gave. This husband and wife make it back together because of the lecture that you gave. This young man is studying in college, now he's going overseas. It changes his life because of a lecture that you gave, because of advice, because of a cup of tea that you offered him. Anyone who says this doesn't feel good, this is nice, he's not what? He's not being honest with himself, because that's the nature of a human being. Especially if you're a kind, soft-hearted person. You like to help people. And this is from the gratification of helping people. He says, so if the niyyah is a mixture, he says, then the ruling will go to the most dominant of the two. You have more ikhlas or less ikhlas. Everybody understand this? So this in itself is a lecture, a long, long, detailed lecture. The concept of ikhlas and seeking hadith, studying hadith. What is ikhlas? What is the proper intention? We hear it all of the time. Tasheeh al-niyyah. What is tasheeh al-niyyah? The author, without any doubt, he gave you many good examples of this. He then says, rahimahullah ta'ala, وإن كان طلبه أو طلبه لفرط المحبة فيه مع قطع النظر عن الأجر وعن بني آدم فهذا كثير ما يعتري طلبة العلوم فلعل النية أن يرزقها الله بعد وأيضا فمن طلب العلم للآخرة كسره العلم وخشية كذا في النسخة ولعل خشوعا أو خشية هكذا لله واستكان وخشع لله واستكان وتواضع وما طلب للدنيا تكبر به وتكثر وتجبر وازدر بالمسلمين العامة كان عاقبة أمره إلى سفال وحقارة فليحتسب المحدث بحديثه رجاء الدخول في قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم نظر الله امرأ سمع مقالته فوعاها ثم أداها إلى من لم يسمعها. He then says, as far as if a person seeks hadith, a person seeks ilm for no specific intention, but he just loves knowledge. I'm studious by nature. I'm naturally studious. I like to read books. I like to study things. Nothing to do with religion. Nothing to do with the deen. But the sheer, pure, raw love for knowledge. Everybody understand this? He says a person, he seeks knowledge for this intention. And he has no care or concern about the people who is around him. I learn not because I want people to praise me or give me a clap or a pat on the back or a hug. No. I just like it myself. I'll go to the bookstore, I'll go to the library, I'll pick up a book and I'll get lost. I'll sit down in the middle of the aisle of the library. Not at a table, not a chair, just sit on the floor and just read. If a person seeks knowledge for this, he says, and he has nothing to do with the people, then this is something that happens all of the time. It happens all of the time. And bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, if a person does this, perhaps Allah will give him the proper intention later on. Perhaps Allah will give him the proper what? Later on. Everybody understand this? Al-Dhahabi rahimahullah, he explains this in another book in more detail about some of the Sahaba who did this. And he says, لأن النفوس الزكية تأبى الجهل. He says, because pure souls refuse ignorance. Pure souls refuse ignorance. This is in all religions and all races. A true honorable person, noble person, black, white, red, yellow. Everybody understand this? An honorable man, honorable woman knows the vice of ignorance and the virtue of knowledge. Whether it's in religious issues, military, economics, politics, medicine, even in sports. Everybody understand this? Even in what? In sports. They have the facts about the game, statistics. This is a reality, the power and the virtue of knowledge. And low people, base people, mean people, people whose souls are not clean, they are the exact opposite. They love ignorance. And they wage war against knowledge. And if you want to control the people and stifle the people and parade the people around and hurdle them up like cattle, then do two things to them. Spread ignorance and strip them from knowledge. Keep ilm from them and give them jahl. Give them distractions. Give them things which will always keep their minds and bodies stimulated instead of thinking critically and learning. So therefore, someone who learns hadith with the intention for people to praise him, no. He studies hadith with the intention of people to laud him, no. To get money, to get positions, to get married, no. He just loves it. And then perhaps within that, as time goes on, Allah will give him the proper what? The proper niyyah. He then says, as far as those who seek ilm for the hereafter, he says, kasarahul ilm. The knowledge will break him. It will cause him to be humble, to be soft for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody understand these words? Knowledge is solid. The heart is soft, or should be soft. So if you have a true intention, and you seek ilm, you seek hadith, and you still have arrogance, you still have pride, you still look down upon people, you're never available for the people, you never help the people, something is wrong with your search of knowledge. Because the knowledge is not supposed to make you straight. It's supposed to break you in half. That hadith tag, when you think about it, subhanAllah, you read it, that's deep. So now you have one hadith that's deep, 5 hadiths that's deep, 10 hadiths that's deep. You memorize the whole book full of deep hadiths. It's supposed to have a what on you? A major effect on your heart and on your life. Everybody got this? And if you don't have that effect, then something is seriously wrong with you seeking hadith. Al-Dhahabi rahimahullah ta'ala, he then says, those who seek hadith for pride, for conceit, and to become tyrants, to be in charge of the people, to look down upon the general 9 to 5 Muslims, fulan's ignorant. He doesn't know anything. I'm better than you. You don't understand this. You've been studying all these years, you can't even say it right. You're from an Arab country, you can't even speak Arabic. I speak Arabic better than you. I know more than you. I'm better than you. My degree is bigger than yours. Everybody understand this? Fulan calls this a class. These are his students. These are the people that Fulan gives a lecture with. If that's what you do all day, every day, look down upon people, ridicule people, scorn people, he says here, then he says, وَكَانَتْ عَاقِبَةْ أَمْرِ إِلَى سِفَالٍ وَحَقَارًا. He says, you're going to fall flat on your face in the end. And you're going to become low. In this life, in the hereafter, or at least in the hereafter. Allah is going to humiliate you. Allah is going to expose you. Allah is going to majorly embarrass you because your niyyah was not correct from day one. Let us just stop and think about this, how often this happens on the internet. People who learn hadith, who study hadith, they make fun of people every day. They look down upon people, they scorn people every single day. Whenever I pick up the microphone, I'm scorning someone. I'm making fun of someone directly or indirectly. And yet I still call myself a scholar. I call myself a student of knowledge. I call myself a student of hadith. But I always make fun of people. And I always look to me to be on a pedestal. I'm above you and you're beneath me because of the knowledge of hadith that I have. He says, if this is your attitude and your disposition, Allah will certainly humiliate you. He then says, let the muhaddith, the student of hadith, the scholar of hadith, let him have the intention have the goal and the objective of being included in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam statement. نَضَّرَ اللَّهُ مُرَنْ سَمِعَ مَقَالَتِي فَوَعَاهَا. May Allah give nadra to a man who hears what I have to say, to a man who hears what I've said and memorizes it. May Allah brighten the face. May Allah put bloom and blossom in a man's face. May Allah illuminate a man's face, make his heart brilliant and radiant, dazzling. The one who does two things. Number one, sami'a maqalati. He heard my hadith. He hears what I have to say, what I had to say. Everybody understand this? Fawa'aha. And then he memorizes it. He puts it in his heart. Then the hadith then says, ثُمَّ أَدَّاهَا إِمَا لَمْ يَسْمَعْ مَنْهَا إِلَى مَنْ لَمْ يَسْمَعْهَا. He says, then he delivers that hadith to those who didn't hear the hadith. In other words, this one hadith is considered to be one of the cornerstones and one of the main pillars and columns of the whole entire hadith culture. Why hadith? Why hadith disciple? If there were no other virtues, no other hadiths except for this one, that will be sufficient. Only thing you have to do, hear it, memorize it, pass it on. And the Prophet ﷺ, he made dua for you. Is the Prophet's dua going to be rejected? Is the Prophet's dua not going to be answered by Allah? That's one interpretation of the hadith. هذا على قول. قول الآخر أن الحديث ليس فيه دعاء وإنما فيه خبر. إخبار. That Allah's Messenger ﷺ is telling us, those who hear my statements, memorize them, pass them on in a perfect manner, Allah will do this for them. Everybody understand this? Allah will make their faces bright. He will make their hearts bright. He will give them this blessing, as Allah says in the Quran Al-Kareem. What does Allah say in Surah Al-Mutaffifin? تَعْرِفُ فِي وُجُوهِهِمْ. Everybody understand this? Nadra, this beautiful radiance, which is inside and which is outside. He then says, وَلْيَبْذُلْ نَفْسَهُ لِطَلَبَةِ الْأَخْيَارِ لَا سِيَّمَا إِذَا تَفَرَّدَ. He says here, he should exert himself. He should make himself available. All right, now we're done with the niyyah, okay, John? Moving on. That's the first point. You want to summarize your notes. The first etiquette of the student of hadith, of the scholar of hadith, is what? Tasheehun niyyah. Number two, badlun nafs. Badlun nafs is to exert yourself. Exert yourself. Make yourself available. Go the extra yard. He says here, لِطَلَبَةِ الْأَخْيَارِ, for the good students, the strong students, the talented students, the sincere students, the loyal students. Not for the students who come and go. You see him one day, 3 months you don't see him. Not for the students who come into class, and I'm not talking about nobody specifically. Don't nobody take this wrong. Speaking openly. Not for the students who come, they sit, they take notes. Mufti write me a letter of recommendation. You write them a letter of recommendation. You put in a good word for them. You talk to your friends, your people. They get into the university by Allah's permission, and then they start talking about you. Start talking about you behind your back, slandering you. Or someone who just totally deny it. No, I never sat with Mufti Muhammad Munir. I was never his student. I never sat with him. He helped me out a little bit. That's it. I was never his student. I was never his disciple. He's lying to himself, to the people. Everybody understand this? And the people knew and saw, and maybe not you brothers, maybe Brother Khan, who's been around for a minute in this masjid. But the older people that's in this masjid, they know exactly Fulan here, this one, that one. Abu Ramla, Abu Ramla, Abu Ramla, Abu Ramla, Abu Ramla, Abu Ramla. Please, 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 please help me out. Take me to Medina. Please give me advice. And alhamdulillah, you give them advice, you help them out. Then they pull out a knife, stab you in the back. I know he had problems from then. He had doubts. Or as one young immature student said, he mixes the haqq with the batil. The brother was invited over my house. Every week, the new students, this was about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. The new students, we would invite them to our houses, to our home. We would give them food. We would teach them. We would help them out. Give them big brother tutoring. Okay? All of those brothers, they turn around, they start, oh yeah, Muhammad ibn Munir, his mistakes. Muhammad ibn Munir, he doesn't understand the minhaj. Muhammad ibn Munir, the scholars have warned from him. Perhaps, maybe they have. But were the scholars warning from me when you're in my house? Asking me alif bata? What to do, where to go, how to study, how to dress? Everybody understand what we're trying to get to? This is a musibah. This is a problem that many brothers have done. Now, this is just one type of people. Let alone other brothers who are inconsistent. They come, they take your time, they ask you 50,000 questions, and then they don't come back and they don't study anymore. Or other brothers, they're good people. They're not backstabbing type of people. They are consistent, but you give them advice and they don't take the advice. Mufti, I want to learn Arabic. Do it like this, Jeremy. Read it like that. Study it like this. But, another book. Trust me, what I've said to you is what I feel and what I know. If I didn't think this was effective, trust me for sure, I wouldn't have told you that. But you have to trust your teacher. Everybody understand this? Or there are other types of students which are loyal, which are faithful, which aren't backstabbing type of two-faced people, which do take the advice, but they don't work hard enough. They're not workhorses. They don't exert themselves. They want 100% from the teacher, but they're only willing to give 5%. Everybody understand this? Or they don't sacrifice. They want you to sacrifice time. Sheikh, can I come after Fajr? After Isha? Your day off? Sheikh, I have a question. Katha, help me. Give me a book, so on and so forth. Tayyib, no problem. But now I'm asking you to make a sacrifice. I need you to come and study right now. No, I have to work, Sheikh. I have to go to school, Sheikh. My wife, Sheikh. My mother is sick. My father is sick. Katha. Excuses, which could be valid. But where's the what? The sacrifice. So a true student is someone who has all of these different etiquettes. Everybody got this? So there, al-Dhahabi, he says, وَلْيَبْذُلْ نَفْسَهُ لِطَلَبَةِ الْأَخْيَارِ. He should exert himself for the what? The akhyar, the good students. Those who deserve time and respect. People that are serious and deserve to be treated in that serious manner. Everybody got this? He then says, لَا سِيَمَا إِذَا تَفَرَّدَ. Especially if he's the only one. Especially if he has some knowledge that the other people don't have. Especially if he has knowledge or some hadith or some riwayat that other muhaddithin may not have. وَلْيَمْتَنِعْ مِنَ مَعَ الْهَرَمِ وَتَغَيُّرِ الذِّهْنِ وَلْيَعْهَدْ إِلَى أَهْلِهِ وَإِخْوَانِهِ حَالَ صِحَّتِهِ أَنَّكُمْ مَتَى رَأَيْتُمُونِي تَغَيَّرْتُ فَامْنَعُونِي مِنَ الرِّوَايَةِ. He says the third etiquette is knowing when to stop. Knowing when to quit at the time of extreme old age. Or when a person has Alzheimer's, or as the brother told us, Alzheimer's, when your mind isn't as sharp, you start forgetting. You start mixing things up. Your mind is not there 100%. Someone comes to you and says, "Ya Sheikh, this is Brother Nafis. Alhamdulillah, he's from the Tulab and take from him." And then 2 hours later or next week, another Umrah group comes to you and says, "Ya Sheikh, this is a recording of Brother Nafis. Mubtadi'. He's an innovator." Wallahi, we've seen this. Or one scholar, he may be in his house. He's on the phone. They said, "Yeah, Sheikh, what is your opinion about Brother Fulan, Brother Nafis in America?" Khair, he's upon, he's upon. لا يا شيخ. أنت قد حذرت من هذا. لا هذا إخواني كلب مبتدئ. On one phone call, Wallah al-Azim, one phone conversation. He starts off praising him, he's good. Then the questioner, the da'iyah, calling from America, with his broken Arabic, says, "No, ya Sheikh, you won from this one. You won from this one." Said, "Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, naam. He's an innovator, he's a dog, he's an ikhwani." What is this? What type of etiquette is this? When you get in that state, and what you can't remember, you can't keep track of your statements, you need to do what? You have to sit down. Publish or what? Publish or perish, as he said. Publish or what? Or perish. Keep producing or not, it's time to sit down. It's time to retire. Just like sports. Everybody understand this? He had no business getting in the ring with this boxer. 38, 39, 50, 51. It's time to do what? It's time to hang it up. Because you can't move the same way you used to move. You can't dance the same way you used to dance. You can't bob and weave and duck the same way. It's going to be damaging to your career, to your body, to your health. Everybody understand this? So when a alim, a student of hadith, and even an alim is also a student of hadith because he's one who's a student of the art. When you get to the point where you become too old, too senile, you become senile, your mind isn't the same, then you need to do what? It's time to quit. Al-Dhahabi rahimahullah ta'ala, he then says, and he should also entrust his family members with this. Tell his sons when he's strong and when he's healthy. Tell his family members, whenever you see me going like this and like that, pull me out. Everybody understand this? A boxer, he says to his trainer, when you think that I don't got it anymore, do what? Yank me up out of there. It's time to quit. You're the champ. You have nothing to prove. You beat everybody when you were young, but now it's time to what? It's time to relax. Everybody understand this is a very important etiquette. Why is this? Why is this etiquette so important? It goes to show that hadith and knowledge and sunnah, these things are greater than you. It's bigger than you. It's not about you and your career and your life and your ego. It's about having respect for the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And if you're not sharp, if you're not mentally there, and you continue to teach, you continue to give classes, you continue to say things, that shows that you have a what? No. A lack of respect. You have a lack of respect for the art. Everybody understand this? You have a what? A lack of respect. If I present sloppy things to you, that shows I really don't care about the art or you. And you'll just take anything. I can just offer you slop. It's good. Everybody understand this? That shows a lack of respect. But someone who respects an art, who respects a trade, who respects a craft says, no, I can't do it. I'm sorry. Please, just one more. I can't. Why? Because it ain't right. It's not right. Everybody got this? This is a very important etiquette of a person of hadith. The author, he then says, فَمَنْ تَغَيَّرَ بِسُوءِ حِفْظٍ وَلَهُ أَحَادِيثُ مَعْدُودَةٌ قَدْ أَدْمَنَ فِي دُرْبَتِهَا فَلَا بَأْسَ بِتَحْدِيثِهِ بِهَا زَمَنَ تَغَيُّرِهِ ولا بأس بأن يجيز مروياته حال تغيره فإن أصوله مضبوطة ما تغيرت وقد وعي ما جاز فإن اختلط وخلف امتنع من أخذ الإجازة من ومن الأدب. طيب, he then says, those whose memory or their minds, they change, their memory becomes poor, and there's only a few hadith that they narrated, and they've studied them for some years, they've mastered them, then there's nothing wrong with him continuing to pass on that limited amount of hadiths. Everybody got this? This is taghayyur. Even before we get into Alzheimer's, when a person can't remember, a person becomes senile, begins to mix things up. He then says, rahimahullah ta'ala, there's nothing wrong with that. The things that he's memorized perfectly, it's nothing extra. He can give ijazah from those ahadith. From those what? From those ahadith. Now, kharifa is one thing. تغير is one thing. اختلط بآخرة. اختلط بآخره. اختلط كذا. And تغير. It's two different things. اختلط means you start mixing things up. And تغير means that your memory is, your blade is now dull. It's not sharp at all. But it doesn't mean that you give inaccurate what? Information. As we mentioned, explain what? Before. Last night. We talked about this what? Remember or not? Remember? Play. We short. We're dull. Now you guys are young. You guys are young. You make me feel old when I come here. You can't remember. If you can't remember last night's class, what are you going to do in the last year's class? Stephen, what are you going to do? You got to tell them, akhi. You got to remember. If you can't remember last night's faida, then what about what? Last week's faida. Let alone last month. Let alone what? Last year. Let alone 5 years ago. So therefore, this here is an etiquette with regards to hadith. Reporting hadiths, that you have to be in the proper physical and mental and spiritual state. Everybody got this? You have to be in the proper mental, physical, and spiritual what? State. Everybody got this? All three of these things have to be married together for you to give hadith. The next etiquette, which number is this? 3 or 2? 3. He says here, وَمِنَ الْأَدَبِ أَنْ لَا يُحَدِّثَ مَعَ وُجُودِ مَنْ هُوَ أَوْلَى مِنْ لِسِنِّهِ وَإِتْقَانِهِ بَلْ يَدُلُّهُمْ عَلَى الْمُهِمِّ فَالدِّينُ النَّصِيحَةِ. He says here, from the etiquettes of a hadith scholar is not to teach and not to give hadith when there's someone who is much better than him because of his age or because of his perfection. How many people say we're students of hadith, we're scholars of hadith, we're people of the Salaf al-Salih, and they themselves have no qualifications, no formal Islamic education. And then there are other people who've studied for years considerably and have formal and informal Islamic education, yet and still they do what? No, not talk about it. We don't have to go that far. Huh? Nope. What we just mentioned. La. In other words, if you're teaching and you're my neighbor at another masjid, and you're far better than me, I shouldn't be doing what? According to who? Everybody got this? So we're talking about following the hadith. Let's implement this what? نطبق هذا الأدب. أهل البدع, sitting with أهل البدع, avoiding أهل البدع. طيب, لا بأس, ماشي. سلمنا. That's only how many etiquettes now? Of the Salaf and of people of hadith? And another etiquette is also what? Everybody got this or not? So I have no qualifications. I'm claiming to be a student of hadith, and Adam is in a very close vicinity. He's teaching. Am I following people of hadith by giving lectures and classes? Let alone talking about people. We didn't get into that, Sharif. That's a whole nother mushkila. But just the fact of what? Allah yuhadditha. Not giving hadith in the presence of someone who's what? Everybody got this? So the way of the people of hadith is just one thing. How many etiquettes are there? Many. And it's not for me or you to just what? Pick one and abandon what? 10 others and say I'm on the way of Ahl Hadith. And the others aren't what? On the way of Ahl Hadith. Everybody got this? Right. He says he should not speak in the presence of someone awla minhu, who takes precedence because of his age. In other words, this person is older than him and also better than him. Or they're equal in knowledge, but he's what? Older. He's what?
Older.
He's older. As far as if someone who's younger and has more knowledge, by far, then that's not what we're talking about. Everybody got this? But let's say people are they're two what? Equal. Or even similar. Not even equal, but they're very similar. And he's what? Adam is what? So out of respect for Adam, is that I what? Fall back. Everybody got this or not? Everybody understand this? Out of respect for Adam, I do what? Fall back. That's with age. He then says, وَإِتْقَانِهِ, and also his precision. I'm older than Adam. However, Adam is far more what? Knowledgeable than me, far more qualified than me. He has much more education than I have. He studied 5-6 countries. I didn't leave America. So out of respect, not for Adam, not for myself, which is important, but out of respect for what we just mentioned about the old age. Respect for the what? The art. Respect for the what? The art, the craft. This is a qualified, certified chef. I just make a few dishes in my kitchen. He's giving a presentation on culinary arts. Would it be of any respect for me to show up and say, I want to make a dish for you too? Everybody got this or not? It will be what? Disrespectful to who or to what? To everything. To the art. It'd be disrespect to, He was sacrificing, drinking dates and water overseas in Egypt. I was in America eating a cheesesteak. Stuff in my belly. Wearing $300 shoes, $400 pants. He was overseas with no heat, freezing in the wintertime, reading and studying. How is his heart and his mind going to be? He's trying to teach a class. I haven't sacrificed anything that he sacrificed, and I teach a class and bump shoulders with him. كيف يكون الشعور? Let alone ikhlas, the etiquettes, but how disrespectful is that to what? No, not art. We're finished with art now. To Adam. This guy didn't even study anywhere. What's the purpose of me studying? I could have stayed in America and just been an imam. I can sound good. I talk good. I've read a couple of books. Khalas, that's all I have to do. So Al-Dhahabi rahimahullah, he says, this is what? This is a no-no. Everybody got this or not? Another very important point before we move on is that if the person who's better than you, who's stronger than you, if he allows someone who's less than him in age, in knowledge, in precision to teach, then there's nothing what? There's nothing wrong with that. Tafaddal. La, Sheikh, I'm going to cancel my class. La. Do your class. Do your lectures. Because we need more people. It's New York City. It can't just be all my show. Everything is me. Even if I wanted to be in all 5 boroughs at once, I can't. Let alone the boroughs or the cities and the regions outside of the 5 boroughs. Everybody understand this? Long Island, this part, upstate. I can't be everywhere. So we need more people. Everybody got this or not? We need more what? We need more people. However, if I don't give permission and you don't have the proper qualifications, there is no respect, there is no humility, then there's a serious what? A serious problem. And the shaitan is very crafty. Many people, they mix their personal feelings up with the art. I don't like Adam, to be honest with you. I don't like him. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he talks. I despise him. However, due to the fact that he studied, he's qualified, he's light years behind me, out of respect for the art, I'm going to do what? Fall back. Everyone understand this? But because my personal envy for Adam, my hatred, or me being a follower and a fanatic, this one and that one, I'm going to allow all of these things to color my judgment and lose focus of the fact on how disrespectful I am to Adam, who has so much ilm, so much experience, so much knowledge. I have so little. Everybody got this or not? It's a very important etiquette. And if you do this, not because of Adam, not because of yourself, but out of respect for the art, there lies no doubt Allah is going to raise you. If you're truly humble, truly respectful, Allah will raise you. Just like if you're truly sincere, you don't seek money, you don't seek positions, the money, the fame, they'll what? They'll come to you. You don't want them, but they'll what? They'll come to you. So these are just a few adab. We have many more. It's the only time, or we don't have any more time tonight to talk about this. This is something I feel is very important for us all to ponder, to think about, and to reflect upon. Engage yourself. Where am I at from among these etiquettes? Do I have the proper niyyah? Do I have the proper qualifications? Do I respect the art? Is seeking knowledge in art, or is just anyone that can talk? Anyone that has the most subscribers? Anyone that can pick up a microphone? There was a time, it still is, but there was a time in which talab al-ilm dawah was a what? Was an art. And it was a person who couldn't speak, who couldn't get in the minbar unless he was properly qualified. As far as nowadays, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Hada wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala abdihi wa rasulihi nabi Muhammad. Once again, I'm not talking about one person, one masjid, anybody. I'm not pointing and singling out anyone. However, if the shoe fits, then wear it. If you feel that I'm talking about you or someone that one, I'm not singling anyone out. But if you fall under that, then what? That's your problem. I can't help you with that. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can help you. Wallahu alam.